My name is Rob Peters, and I'm going to be telling you my persuasive speech. Today, my persuasive speech is going to be about listening. Don't you hate it when you're trying to talk to someone and you try to talk to someone, but the thing is, they're on their phone, either texting or they're ignoring you, and they aren't listening to what you're saying, and so you get really annoyed and you're just like, wow, really? You're not paying attention to me? Or when you go up to your teacher and you're trying to explain why you're turning your work late, and you're thinking, oh, hey, why she ain't listening to me? Why she's just grading her paperwork and she's not paying attention to you? And you're like, wow, really? You're not paying attention to me? And you're just like, come on, listen to me. I'm going to telling you why I'm turning in my homework late. Well, do you ever think how the teacher felt when she's teaching her lesson? When she's like, oh, hey, yeah. When she's trying to teach a lesson to you, in order for you to get good education, yeah, you're there on your phone in the middle of class, and she's trying to talk to you, but you're ignoring her. You ever thought how she felt? Now there are times now there are times in life where we stumble and fall, and we usually call out for God for help, so in order to pick us up. And over time, the pain builds up and builds up to where we can't take it anymore. And then we're begging God, saying, God, please help me. God, please hear my call. And we say, He isn't answering me, or He's not talking to me. I can't hear Him. And so since we can't hear Him and we don't get to answer Him, we push Him aside and we fall to the world. And so we go to the world and we're like, you know what? And you go to your friends saying, we go to our friends and we're saying, oh, hey. So we go to our friends with the problems and go, hey, man, what should I do? Oh, and they tell you, oh, man, hey, here, try this stuff. And they get you into drugs. And then you start getting into fights. And then you start picking on people. You start bullying people. And so then at the end of the day, you're thinking, you know what? I feel happy. I feel like I solved my problem. Yes, you heard me right. I said you think your problem is solved. You think that you are happy. But truth is, deep inside, you're still searching for an answer. You're still searching for an answer. And yet your excuse for all this is, oh, hey, I'm doing this because God didn't answer me. Well, have you ever thought that God's talking to you, but you aren't listening to Him? We go into church every day and pray to God, saying, God, I need you to do this in my life. God, give me an answer. Yet when the pastor comes up and he's preaching his sermon, we just automatically go straight to our phones and start texting our friends. There's a reason why pastors call their sermon messages. Because their message is literally God trying to speak through them to you. Every day, what I found out is that pastors, they aren't making messages out of their own thoughts, out of their own words. They're not saying, oh, you know what, I feel like telling the congregation this today. No. Throughout the week, they fast and pray and talk to God, asking them, what do you want me to preach? What do you want me to tell this world today, God? Not let my will be done, but your will be done. And so, yeah, they call it messages because it's from God. And have you ever thought, of what the consequences of your action is? You're saying, oh, your problems are solved because you're doing drugs, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm doing drugs, I'm having fun with my friends and all that. Yeah, I'm having fun because I'm fooling people. I'm a top dog. I could beat up anyone I want. You ever thought the consequences of those actions? Well, I'll tell you this. That kid you picked on, that kid you bullied, he just killed himself the next day. That girl you called fat, she's starving herself every single day just so she gets thin because she doesn't meet your expectations. Those people you just fought because they were going against you, well, guess what? They're creating a group and they're going to be coming after you, and they're angry at you, and they aren't going to be forgiving you. Your enemies will come back at you. Everything you do in this world has consequences. And as your excuses before, again, you just go back to God saying, well, it's not my fault I'm doing this, it's because God didn't answer me. We go to God, and with our relationship with the youth today, with people today, most people today, they go to God with their wants and needs, but they go to God wearing headphones. They say, God, I need you. God, I need you to do this, I need you to do that. But they still have their headphones on, listening to the world, and they aren't listening to what God has to say. So, you're probably asking, okay, so how do I listen? How can I listen? Well, first of all, set your priorities straight. Who's more important, your friends Your, your friends, your life, or God? In service, you don't have to be texting your friend in the middle of a message. If you want to hear God, put your phone down, turn it off, or even put it on silent. Because if you want God to answer, put your full attention on Him. If you want to answer, seek Him. Don't be, oh, well, my friend texted me. Let me see what he's got to say today. No. If you want a serious answer from God and you want to hear from God, listen to Him. Put your full attention into Him. Or when you're sitting next, and also when you're sitting next to one and they're talking to you, well, how you ever thought? Well, either change your seat or tell them to be quiet. Because if your friends are the people of the world, or are they distracting you from the Word? Sorry to say, but they aren't the right friends. If the only thing they're doing is pulling you away from the Lord, then truth be told, you need to get away from them. Because if you want to answer, you got to be seeking God. You can choose. I'm not saying God's not forcing you to choose Him. He gives us free will. So you can choose what's more important. If you want to answer, seek God. But if you're just putting it out there and you're still putting your friends before Him, well then, hey, don't be blaming God because He didn't answer you. It's just because you weren't listening. How will this look in your life if you start listening? Well, I'll tell you this. God's almighty. He is perfect. He knows everything. So if you ever come to Him and ask Him something, He will give you the right answer. The answer you need to hear. Not the answer you want to hear, but the answer you need to hear for your life. So if you ever feel God is not answering, stop and think. Am I giving God my full attention? Am I listening to God? Am I letting the devil put distractions into me? Am I letting the world distract me from God? And then think this. Which is more important? If I want to answer, am I really seeking God? Or am I just using God as an excuse? If you want to answer, listen. Because God might not speak to you directly, but He'll speak to you through people. And that is my speech today.